I know you love when you are being heard, when you feel like your emotions matter, but just make sure you are also listening and hearing how other people feel too. Share that feeling of being heard by taking the time to truly listen to people express themselves, not just to hear what they have to say, dismiss it in the moment you don't agree or find it not interesting, but to try to understand. I mean, really try to understand. Give people that feeling you get when you felt understood. And even if you have never been understood by anyone, give people that feeling that you wish you could have. Now, you might not know how to make someone feel heard and to validate how they feel. You might not know how to do that, and that's okay. But in order to be able to do it, I feel like what I'm about to say is a very easy way for it to be broken down. So let's get straight to it. So number one, right? I think I'm gonna list off 3 points, right? I'm gonna break it down in 3 steps. So this is how you create an area for them to express themselves, or this is how you make someone feel heard. So number one, create a safe space for them to speak freely. Now, a safe space is giving them the option to speak openly about what is bothering them, how they feel, and honestly just not judging them based on those emotions and reasons. Don't just let them talk and like tone them out or something like that though, because you have to, you know, validate how they feel. So while they're talking, really sit there and focus on what feeling they are trying to convey to you. And honestly, most importantly, don't use these emotions against them. But I'm gonna get into that later. Number two, do not respond to them expressing themselves with how you feel. Now, I ain't gonna lie, this one kind of ties in with the first one, but it is so important that I need to readdress it and make it more clear. How you feel is important, but there is a time and a place for you to vent your emotions. And right now, while the person is expressing how they feel, it is not the time or the place. When your partner or whoever is talking to you about how they feel, don't bring your own emotions into it. If they say you are doing something, don't get defensive and try to justify what you did or why you did it. Just sit down and listen to them and what they are saying. Put your emotions and justifications to the side and pay attention to the problem that they are dealing with. Now, number three. Now, after they are done expressing how they feel, do not be afraid to ask questions. If there's something you do not understand, you need clarification on, ask a question. Now, for example, let's say your partner or whoever tells you that you aren't communicating, but you know that every time you try to communicate, they shut down or dismiss it or get defensive or whatever, right? It feels like you can't. A question you could ask them can sound something like, I personally feel as if I'm trying to communicate, but if you feel as if I'm not, then I want to improve on it. So what way that I could communicate would be the most receptive for you? Now, there is nothing wrong with asking a question like this. And honestly, there's nothing wrong with asking questions in general. If you don't understand something about your partner, or if they don't understand you, ask them about what they don't understand about, or ask them about what you don't understand about them. You know what I'm saying? I know that sounds kind of confusing, but to make it sound more simple, questions are the key to clarification. But just make sure when you are asking these questions that they are open questions that you genuinely want to know the answer to and they can answer freely. Don't ask no question like, oh, well, how am I supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Like, be sincere when you're talking to these people, because both of you are probably in an emotional state. So y'all really gotta, or you at least gotta really try to, stay level headed, stay calm, stay collected. You know what I mean? Now, That's all for the 3 steps. Now, if you do all of this, this is really, those 3 steps are really just the basis of being able to be open to people. And honestly, it will make those people who do speak to you more comfortable about being open with you, and will even want to speak with you more, For the people who do speak with you, it's gonna make them feel even more comfortable about being open with you, and will even want to speak with you more, simply because you don't judge them while you listen to them. You just sit there and you truly try to understand people, And I feel like that's something that is just something that could be more helpful when someone is expressing themselves. I feel like we are so quick to judge people for the things that they're doing, the things that they are feeling, the things that they're going through, and maybe it's a subconscious thing. Maybe you don't even realize it, but a lot of people do it. They're like, wow, like how could they do something like that? Like that's, I see that all the time, you feel me? And there's nothing wrong if you are struggling with something. There's nothing wrong with that, and you deserve to have your problems resolved. But just because you deserve something, and even if you aren't getting what you feel like you deserve, doesn't mean you should shorten out on what other people deserve too. Provide what you want to be provided for you, if it's something that you don't have. But at the same time, if you do have it, my phone just went out. At the same time, if you do have it, share what you have with those who need it. And everybody needs someone to listen to them. They don't need it, but it's helpful. So I feel like, hey, if there's something that you can learn from this video, learn this, man. Sit down and listen to those who are trying to talk to you, because it could be that one conversation that person needs to completely save their life or change their life. You could be that person for them, and all you would have to do is just try to understand them. That's all for this one, y'all. Y'all have an amazing day.